Okay students, in this video we are going to discuss about the concept of the locus. What is this one? Concept of the locus. See, actually locus is that very lengthy chapter. This concept will be erases most of the topic relevant to the geometry. So before going to the advanced level, everyone must be understand that what is the concept of the locus. What is the concept of the locus? See, for example, this one is that a plane. You take a one point on this plane. Let it be this is that C. This one is that C. And the point at a distance of r units the point at a distance of r units is that p. Then what do you say that locus of this p? See, only one point will be exist or infinite number of points will be exist satisfying the condition cp is equals to r infinite number of points. So like that, so here one point and here one point and so like this around this point C, so infinite number of the points will be exist. By joining all these points, by joining all these points, you will be get a proper curve. You will be get a proper curve. See, look at this one. Here infinite number of points. All these points will be lies on the curve. So here what is that curve? This is in the shape of a circle. This is in the shape of the circle. So what do you say that definition of the locus? The set of points which is satisfied under a certain condition. Now in this diagram, what is that condition? The distance between the C and the P. The distance between C and P. Cp is equals to R. This one is that given condition. Now here all these points will satisfy this condition, right? Then the set of all these points is called a locus, right? So that means locus is nothing but a tracing of the curve. Here all the p points, here p will be the moving point. Here p will be satisfy this condition. So p lies on that which curve? That is called the locus. Here the locus of P is that what? Circle. So this one is the definition for the circle also. Okay, right? Actually, circle definition will be defined from the locus concept. So what do you say the definition of the locus? Two types you can write down. So that is the set of points, the set of points which is satisfy under a certain condition or conditions is called a locus. This one is the definition of the locus, right? So the next another definition, what is nothing but by using this condition tracing of the curve. That means tracing of the curve means what type of the curve will be represent that given condition, that is nothing but the locus, right? So the next definition is tracing of a curve. Tracing of a curve. Simply you say that tracing of a curve is also nothing but a locus. Tracing of a curve, right? So this is the another definition. Now you take some examples. These examples we can use as the shortcut formulas, right? See, first one is take this one. The locus of a point, the locus of a point the locus of a point P, the locus of a point P, which is at a constant distance, at a constant distance, let it be, this one is that R, this is always positive or 0 from a fixed point, a fixed point is called a circle, okay. So here what is that condition, that distance of P from the fixed point, here you take that fixed point as C. So here Cp is equals to R. If this condition is given, that represent a circle. The locus is nothing but what? A circle, where this fixed point is called the center and the constant distance is called the radius of the circle. So you take one example. So what is that example? Say here you write this one. So here is that locus, therefore locus of P, which is at a distance 5 units, at a distance 5 units from a fixed point, A is equals to 2, 3 is, say what is the locus of P? Here is that AP distance is equals to 5 units. So AP is equals to 5 units. AP is equals to 5 units means, now that implies by implied, you squaring on both sides, that implies by implied AP square is equals to 25. Here P point is directly you can take x comma y. That implies this one will be get that x minus 2 whole square plus y minus 3 whole square is equals to 25. This one is that locus of the point P which satisfy the given condition AP is equals to 5. Now by expanding, by simplifying, you will get that final result. So but need not simplify this one. While doing the objective problems, you need the simplification part. So look at this. From this one, what is the shortcut formula? Here the fixed point is that center of the circle and the radius is that R. So what do you say that? Formula for the circle equation when center and radius is given. See, look at this one. Here is that one shortcut is that equation of the circle, whose center C is equals to h comma k and radius R is what is that formula? From the above problem, here 2, 3 is the center, because of this is the fixed point. So you can write that x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equals to r square. So this one is that equation of the circle whose center C is equals to h comma k and radius r will be x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equals to r square. So this is that one shortcut formula to find the locus of the P which satisfy the given condition AP is equals to 5. in this one is that CP is equals to, here instead of that A, I took that the name of this point as that C. So CP is equals to, radius is equals to what? R. CP is equals to R is that condition. So please remember this one. And next, see that one more example. See this one. Here, suppose you take that two fixed points. Suppose you take that two fixed points. One is that A and the other one is that B. One is that A and the other one is that B. Here the locus of a point which is that equidistance, that means this is the one point and this one is the another point, this one is the another point, this is another point. So like that, so all these points are in that equidistance from A, equidistance from A and B, from A and B. That means equidistance means this length will be equals to this length, right? And similarly this length will be equals to this length. Like here that this length will be equals to this length, and like that you can take that this figure. You can take that this figure. Say like how many points which are that equidistance from the two fixed points. So like infinite number of the points. How many points will be defined? Infinite number of the points will be defined. So here what do you say that this line, by joining all these points, this one is called perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector of the line segment AB. This one is called perpendicular bisector of the line segment AB. So here the perpendicular bisector definition according to the locus concept is what? So here look at this one. The locus of a point, the locus of a point, the locus of a point which is equidistance, which is equidistance from two fixed points, A and B, fixed points A and B, is a perpendicular, bisector of the line segment AB, the line segment AB, right? So this one is that perpendicular bisector definition from the concept of the locus. See, once again you observe this one. When we take the two fixed points, the locus of the point which is equidistance from these 2 points, how many will exist? Infinite number of points. So that question will ask in the objective point of view, how many number of the points which are equidistant from two fixed points. Immediately our answer will be infinity. How many points will exist? Infinite number of points. So that point we will write that later. And next you see that suppose A point is that x1 comma y1, A point is x1 comma y1, B point is x2 comma y2. What is that condition in this one? Here you take any point as that P. Okay, here is that PA is equals to PB. This is the condition. So while doing that any problem, if this condition is that existing, then simply the locus of P is represent that perpendicular bisector of AB. So what is the shortcut formula to find the perpendicular bisector of the line segment joining that A and B? Look at this. Now equation of perpendicular bisector of the line segment joining the points A is equals to x1 comma y1 and B is equals to x2 comma y2 is so the same formula already we discussed in that previous videos in the concept of the coordinate system. 2 into that formula is 2 into x1 minus x2 into x plus 2 into y1 minus y2 into y is equals to x1 square plus y1 square plus y1 square minus of x2 square plus y2 square plus y2 square. So this one is that perpendicular bisector of the line segment joining the points A is equals to x1 y1 and B is equals to x2 y2. So the next one, here you write that how many number of points will be exist which are equidistant from A and B. See, look at this one. Number of points which are equidistance from two fixed points A comma B or infinity, right? This is the very important point in objective point of view. Okay, right. See, when we take that 2 points are taken, so the locus of the point which is an equidistance from two fixed points will be infinitive. Suppose if we take that 3 non-collinear points, we know that non-collinear points will be formed obviously that a triangle. Non-collinear points will form a triangle. Say here is that, let it be, this is that ABC is the triangle, right? Now in this triangle, how many number of the points which are equidistant from all the angular points? Angular points means vertices. So how many points will be exist in equidistance? Only one point, that is that circumcenter. We know in the definition of the circumcenter, circumcenter will be equidistant from all the vertices. So here you can write that next point is the number of points, number of points, number of points which are equidistant, which are equidistant from three non-collinear points, from three non-collinear points, non-collinear points is equals to 1, is equals to 1. What is that point? That is the circumcenter of the triangle. That is circumcenter of the triangle. Circumcenter of the triangle. Circumcenter of the triangle. Right? So that point is the circumcenter of the triangle. Now this is that another concept in this one. Now you see that next one. See, suppose you take a right angle triangle. Suppose you take a right angle triangle. If I given that ends of the hypotenuse, what are the ends of the hypotenuse? This one is that AB is the ends of the hypotenuse. This one is the third vertex. Third vertex is nothing but the right angled vertex. Third vertex is nothing but right angled vertex. See, here the locus, if I given that ends of a hypotenuse in a right angle triangle, the locus of third vertex will becomes a circle whose AB as the diameter. Why it becomes that circle? Because we know that angle in a semicircle is the right angle. So the right angle vertex always will be lies on the circle. Then obviously AB is the diameter of the circle. So here you can write this one as if A comma B are ends of hypotenuse, ends of hypotenuse in a right angle triangle, in a right angled triangle, comma, then the locus of third vertex. So here obviously A and B are the ends of the hypotenuse, means third vertex will becomes the what? Right angled vertex. The locus of third vertex will be a circle, whose AB as the diameter, Why it becomes the circle? Because of angle in a semicircle is the right angle. Angle in a semicircle means that right angled vertex will be always lies on the circle. and AB is represent the diameter. So here this one will be represent a circle. So please all of you remember, how can we get the same statement in the objective point of view. So here this question is, if A comma B are the ends of a hypotenuse of a right angle triangle, then what is the locus of third vertex? So they will give the options. First option is a parabola, second one is a straight line, third one is the pair of straight line, and fourth one is the circle. So if you remember this concept, you can say that locus of third vertex means right angled vertex, will be a circle, right? So now how can we find that equation of the circle when ends of the hypotenuse are given? See, let it be this one is, let A is equals to x1 comma y1 and B is equals to x2 comma y2, x2 comma y2. So here you can say that, the next one is that if A is equals to x1 comma y1 and B is equals to x2 comma y2 or x2 comma y2 are ends of a diameter, then the equation of the circle, say how can we find the equation of the circle? Here P point you take x comma y, AP is the perpendicular to PB. Then if two sides are the perpendicular, obviously the product of their slopes will be equals to -1. So here this point you take as that x comma y, right? Slope of AP into slope of PB is equals to -1. By cross multiplying, we will get the circle equation is x minus x1 into x minus x2 plus y minus y1 into y minus y2 is equals to 0. This one is the equation of the circle whose ends of the diameter are A is equals to x1 comma y1, B is equals to x2 comma y2. Now by using this formula, now if ends of the hypotenuse in a right angle vertex are given, then find the locus of third vertex means immediately you apply this formula. Why? Because the ends of the hypotenuse are given, locus of third vertex will be represent the circle AB as the diameter. So what is the circle when A and B are the ends of the diameter? So x minus x1 into x minus x2 plus y minus y1 into y minus y2 is equals to 0. Now we will see that one example. See, look at this one. Here if 6 comma 0 and 0 comma 6 or ends of hypotenuse comma then locus of either third vertex or right angled vertex, locus of right angled vertex locus of right angled vertex. See, locus of right angled vertex is so how can we say this one? Here I given that 6 comma 0 and 0 comma 6 are ends of the hypotenuse. Locus of the right angled vertex means these two are represent the ends of the diameter of the circle. So already in previously, in the above statement, x1, y1 and x2, y2 are ends of a diameter of a circle. Then what is the equation of the circle? X minus x1 into x minus x2 plus y minus y1 into y minus y2 is equals to 0. By applying this formula, therefore required locus is this is that x1 y1, this is x2 y2. X minus x1 is the 6 into x minus x2 is the 0 plus y minus y1 is 0 into y minus y2 is that 6 is equals to 0. Right? Now you simplify this one. That implies x into x minus 6 plus y into y minus 6 is equals to 0. By simplifying this value, here you will be get that x square plus y square minus 6 into x minus 6 into y is equals to 0. Right? So this one is that locus of the right angled vertex. Locus of the right angled vertex. See, one more example. Locus of if 1 comma 2 and minus 3 comma 4 be two vertices of a right angled triangle. Then locus of the right angled vertex. See, in this problem, I did not mention that the given points are ends of the hypotenuse. That point is not mentioned in this problem. Simply I said that 1 comma 2 and minus 3 comma 4 be two vertices of a right angled triangle. Then the locus of the right angled vertex. So obviously these two will be represented ends of the hypotenuse. So that means you can draw that figure. That is that here is that one point is nothing but 1 comma 2 and another point is that minus 3 comma 4. Then we have to find the locus of this vertex. This one is that A and this one is that B. So just now you discussed that how to find the locus of the right angled vertex means A and B are the ends of diameter of a circle. Therefore, required locus is the given points you take as that x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2. X minus x1 means 1 into x minus x2 is that x plus 3 plus y minus y1 is that 2 into y minus y2 is that 4 is equals to 0. Now by simplifying this one, here you will be get that x square plus 2 into x minus 3 plus y square minus 6 into x plus 8 is equals to 0. You write these all the terms in the proper order. First you write the second degree terms. That implies x square plus y square. And next you write the first degree terms. Plus 2 into x minus 6 into y. Minus 6 into y. Minus 3 plus 8 is that plus 5 is equals to 0. This one is that required locus. So this is that one example related to this one. The same concept you can applicable in another way. See, look at this one. The locus of, next see that the same concept you can apply in that another way. The locus of foot of the perpendicular, the locus of foot of the perpendicular from the point 4, 3 to the line, to a variable line which passes through origin. Everyone, first you understand what is the meaning of this question. The locus of foot of the perpendicular from this point 4, 3 to a variable line which passes through origin. You know what is the line which passes through the origin means that general form will be y is equals to mx. So here this is the line passing through origin. The variable line is that y is equals to mx. Right? So now this one is always passes through origin 0, 0. And next one, you draw that perpendicular from the given point. What is the given point? 4, 3. Right? So you have to find that locus of foot of the perpendicular. Foot of the perpendicular means this one. Let it be this point is P. How to find the locus of P? Now by joining these 2 points, clearly you have that right angle triangle. So therefore required locus is that becomes what? The hypotenuse will be the diameter of a circle. So what is the circle when ends of the diameters are given? X minus x1, x minus 0 into x minus x2 is that 4 plus y minus 0 into y minus 3 is equals to 0. Now you simplify this one. X minus 0 is that x into x minus 4 plus y into y minus 3 is equals to 0. Right? So you simplify this one. That implies x square plus y square minus 4 into x minus 3 into y is equals to 0. So this one is the required locus. Generally, most of the students will not get this thought. I mean, only they will draw the figure from this point to this variable line. So origin, the line passing through origin means what is that general form of that line? Y is equals to mx passing through origin. So suppose instead of the origin, the locus of foot of the perpendicular from the point 4, 3 to the variable line which passes through some 2, 5. 2, 5. 2, 5 means here is that the variable line is the passes through the 2, 5. That means you take a line. Okay, what is the general equation of the line? Ax plus by plus c is equals to 0. That passes through the point 2, 5. Then instead of the origin, you take that 2, 5 and the locus of foot of the perpendicular will be get by taking this line as the hypotenuse as the diameter of the circle. Okay, it's diameter of circle. Then those points will be the ends of the diameter. So if you understand this problem, if I change that, the line passing through origin, instead of the origin when I given that, any another point you can do these problems. Okay, so this is the very important concept. Thank you for watching this video. Please all of you like, share and subscribe this channel. The remaining concept we'll discuss in the next lecture.